Hey, this is Deepak here from digitaldeepak.com, and in this video we are going to have a look at how to create a Data Studio report for Facebook ads. So Google has a product called Data Studio, which you can go to datastudio.google.com, and from Data Studio you will be able to build reports with data from different sources. So what I'm going to do is that today I'm going to build a report for my Facebook ads. I already have a few reports created for other things like my course sales and stuff like that, and Google also has a lot of templates. So for example, if you look at the search console template, you will be able to see a bunch of data which has been pulled in from the search console account, and Google displays it. So I will show you the sample reports. So this is one sample report from Google Search Console. It shows the landing pages, queries, and you can basically customize the report according to the way you want, and you can also select the date. You can also put a date module. And this is for Google Analytics. There is a sample report. So this is my report which I created, and this shows the report for the sales of my courses. So it shows where the leads are coming from, the top blog pages driving traffic for the course sales, the different website sources, source of leads, revenue, units, average price, percentage revenue, and things like that. So Google Data Studio is not just great for you to go ahead and create a report for your own statistics, but it's also excellent for going ahead and creating reports for your clients, and your clients will be impressed, and you can put your own logo there if you want. So today let me go ahead and build a Data Studio from scratch for Facebook ads. So why do we need to build a Google Data Studio report? So if I look at the last month statistics, so whatever you see on Facebook, the numbers are all over the place. You need to go ahead and dig into it to look at certain numbers. Let's say I want to go ahead and look at the cost per impression versus results, and I want a graph between CPM and results, and I want to see how the CPM is impacting the results. Then I have to download the data, put it on a sheet, and then I have to create graphs around it, right? But what if I can have an updated graph all the time, an updated report with the latest data, instead of having to go ahead and create a report myself? So that is where Google Data Studio could help. So I will go ahead and create a brand new report and a brand new link. So what you have to do is that you have to go to datastudio.google.com, either from your Gmail account or using your Google Apps account, and log into Facebook in another browser, because you need to authenticate the permission. So I am inside Data Studio right now, and I will create a new data source. So I will click on data sources, and I will go ahead and add a new data source. So let me go ahead and see if I can find Supermetrics here. So for this you need Supermetrics. So Supermetrics is a site which goes ahead and connects Facebook ads and Google Data Studio. For Google ads, you have a direct connection to Google Data Studio because both are Google's products, but for Facebook you need Supermetrics, and Supermetrics has a free account. So if you go ahead and select Supermetrics for Google Data Studio, here you have a free account. So you can have 3 ad accounts per ad network, and this is free forever. The other ones cost, but not for us right now. If you want, you can go ahead and check it out. So I will create a new data source here, and I will click on get started. I need to accept some terms and conditions and go ahead and get started with the account. So I'm creating a brand new account so that you can know how the process goes about for connecting the different data sources. So now I can search for Supermetrics. So Supermetrics for Facebook is what you want. So let's search here. So here you can see, just search for Supermetrics. There are different connectors, and you can go ahead and select Facebook ads. So first you have to authorize your own Gmail account or your Google Apps account for Supermetrics to go and connect, and then you have to authorize your Facebook Ads account. So it's a two-step authorization process. So now my Google Ads account is connected. Let's wait for the Facebook one. So here is the Facebook one. So I will click on authorize. So now Facebook is connected, and if you have a issue with the connection, just try it again. Sometimes it throws up an error, and then it will start working again. So here you can go ahead and select the ad account. So here the ad account is Deepak Kanakraju. Conversion window, leave it open. Reporting time zone, put the reporting time zone as the Indian one. So that would be plus 5:30. So you can use UTC plus 5:30 and go ahead and click on connect. So now this is the amount of data that is available from Facebook to be imported into Google Data Studio through Supermetrics. There is almost a list of around 503 data points that will be imported from your Facebook ad account. So this might look overwhelming, but don't worry about that. Just go ahead and click on create report and click on create report again. And give access to Google Data Studio itself once if it asks you for it. So now we can check our Data Studio dashboard, see if we have the connector set up. So Facebook Ads Overview Report Default Template by Supermetrics. So Supermetrics gives you a default template with a bunch of data pulled in from Facebook Ads. So here you can see that. So this is report basically with the data from my Facebook Ads account itself. So this gives you the date selector. This gives you cost and impressions, CPM, impressions, clicks, and all the information that you would need. And you can go ahead and modify this report you want if you want, or you can go ahead and create a brand new Google Data Studio report as well. So what we will do here is that we will create a brand new Google Data Studio report. So let's click here to go back, click on blank report, and here I will show you how to do it from scratch. So data source will be Facebook Ads, and click on add to report. So Facebook Ads is done. So this is the default theme. It has grid lines and all. So I will go to theme, and I like the simple dark theme. So this is the simple dark theme, and now I will call it Facebook Ads report. Pixel track. So now I need to think about all the data that I want to see from my Facebook Ads account, and I can start adding it one by one. So the first thing I want is a date selector. So I will click on date range, and I will put a date selector here. So this would be the date range selector. Now I also want a logo. So I will insert an image. So I will go ahead and click on insert image. So I want to insert an image here. I want to put my company's logo. So I will select a file here just from my folders and then import the image. So I have an image which is like a white image. So that's what I imported, and I could add the logo here. So this is the logo, and I can also add a text. So insert text and Facebook Ads report. So this would be the text. So now what do I want to see first? I want to see what is the amount we are spending every day and what is the amount of conversions we are getting every day. So I will click on add a chart, and I want a time series chart. which is based on the total time and the date range. So I added a time series chart here. So here by default it takes impressions, and what I want is conversions and daily budget. So that's what I want. So here in the available fields I would search for spent. So amount spent is the metric that we want, and we want to put it inside metric. So once you put it inside metric, it will show you amount spent versus impressions. If I remove impressions, then it will only show amount spent. So it will be a line graph with amount spent. So this is the amount spent every day. So right now we are in the editing mode. So in the editing mode, you will not be able to go ahead and manipulate the date range. So I will go ahead and click on view mode, and this is the view mode. So here I will be able to select the date range. So select July 1st to end of July. So I will select on apply, and here I will be able to see. So here the amount spent is in dollars. So here you can see the amount spent from the beginning of the month to the end of the month. So now this graph is ready, but obviously we want more. So what I will do is that I will also add conversions. So conversions, website conversions is what I want. So amount spent versus website conversion. So both the data points I will add. But at the same time, when you look at this, both are in the x-axis and both are different kind of data. So website conversion will be comparatively different compared to the amount spent. So I'm not able to look at a good relationship between the two because of the scale. So what I will do, I will go ahead, I will click on style. So here we have series 1 and series 2, and both are to the left axis. So I will take one series which is series 2. So here series 2 is website conversions, and I will put it on the right axis. So once I put it on the right axis, I will be able to see the relationship between amount spent and website conversions, more like a correlation. So right side you will have the website conversion scale, and left side you will have the amount spent scale. So this looks better. So here we can do a little bit more modification if you want. Like for example, instead of lines, if you want bars for amount spent, so the left one is amount spent, so let's put bars. So if I put bars, it will show like this. It will show the amount spent in bars, and I can do this as well if I want. So for now I will just go ahead and click on line. So this is how we have it, and I can also click on smooth. So if I click on smooth, the edges will become more smoother, and if there is missing data, then the line should go to 0, or the line has to have a break. So here we don't have any missing data, so that's not a problem. So we can have a bunch of things here, like for example, you can change the background and border. So if I select the background color as this, then it will show like this, which we don't want. And just play around with the style if you want to go ahead and do something with the style. So now this report is amount spent and website conversion. So I can go ahead and name this report. I can put a text here. So I will say, so this becomes one data point in the report, and I can put a box around this as well if I want. Let's see if we have a rectangle. So I will just put a box around here, and probably make sure it's transparent, and we can put the border in gray, so that looks good. And there are a bunch of properties for the rectangle as well. So now I will select all this and move it around if I want. So I'll just put it here. So what else do I want to see? So first I'm looking at amount spent versus website conversions. So let's look at website conversions versus CPC. So let's see if the number of website conversions is getting affected because of the CPC, or the conversion rate at least, right? So the result rate is what we want. So I will probably make this a bit longer. So I want a lot more height here. I'll put 2000. So here I have created another report which is which is CTR versus website conversion. So I can put CTR versus conversions. So this will show me whether if there is any effect on the website conversions based on the CTR that we are getting, if you want that graph to be shown. So we have created 2 reports so far. So I will just drag this down and see what else we can add. So until now we have been putting graphs, but we can also put something called a scorecard. Scorecard just gives you an information that you need, and this is how a scorecard looks. And right now it is showing impressions. So this is data for any date range that you select. So we can go ahead and change the style of it as well. I will select a background color. And I will put a border color as well. So this is a scorecard. Right now it is showing impressions. Let's say I want amount spent. So I want to have a snapshot of the amount spent anytime I look at the report. I will go ahead, drag it and put it on metric. So it shows the amount spent, and I can remove the decimals since I don't want the decimals. I can change the text, amount spent in dollars. And I can put a currency also here. So I will click on edit and type number. I will put it as type currency and I will select US dollar here. So amount spent in dollar, it is showing as the amount total spent. So here if I go ahead and click on view, so let's say I want amount spent for July 31st and end date is July 31st. So just for July 31st, if I want to look at the data, so July 31st I have spent $29, and obviously this also will change. Let's say for entire July I want the date. So for start date is 1st July. So now it will show you amount spent in July. So I have spent $1,790 in July, and you will see the graph being updated for this particular date range. So I will go ahead and click on edit again. So let's say I want number of conversions for the particular date range. So I will again put another scorecard here and edit. So total conversions. I will change it to number because it's a number, and here I have to go and select website conversions. So here we have website conversion data, drag it and put it inside metric. So obviously you can put only one metric here. So we have had 21,368 website conversions. I could go ahead and change the color of this again just to make it visually appealing. So total website conversions. Now for any date range that you select, you will be able to see this. Let's see what other data we can populate here. So if I want, let's say, impressions, total impressions received. So this will be impressions, and I can have one more. Let's say link clicks. So total amount of link clicks I have got from this traffic. So now you can also go ahead and put some data from your analytics, put some filters if you want, and compare whether the link clicks and the traffic is actually matching. So there is a lot of things you could do. And there is something called blend data, which is data blending to put multiple data sources into a single chart or a single scorecard, which is beyond the scope of this particular video. So Google Data Studio has a lot of features, and right now Data Studio is definitely a little bit buggy. There are a lot of bugs and errors, and sometimes things don't work as expected, formulas don't work as expected. But I think over time it will get ironed out. And to get started learning with Data Studio, this is a great place to start. So you could start creating some graphs with the basic data that you want to see, and once you set up your Google Data Studio account and Google Data Studio dashboards, you would not need to go ahead and log in into Facebook every time. So the best part about Google Data Studio is that it just acts like a Google Sheet, and you could go ahead and share this Data Studio report with other people. You can download this as a PDF. Like here you have a download option, like for example download as PDF. Just click on download, and you will be able to send this report to your client based on the date ranges also. So if I click on view, you see there is a refresh button here. So the refresh button is important so that sometimes for a particular date, whatever data you have, so let's say I want for August. So we are selecting August, and we have bunch of data being displayed, and sometimes when you select it, you will not be able to see the latest updated data. So in that time you have to click on refresh data, and once you click on refresh data, the latest data will be pulled and it will get refreshed. So you can also go ahead and install a plugin called Data Studio Auto Refresh. So once you put Data Studio Auto Refresh for Google Chrome, what happens is that for every minute or every 2 minutes you can set up a timer, and it will keep refreshing the data. So that will be very useful if you want to like put up a TV screen inside your office or wherever you want and have the latest data appear all the time. So that would be helpful for continuously refreshing the data and seeing what is happening, like like a status dashboard you can have. So that is one thing. And now I will click on edit again, see what else we have. We also have pie charts, so I can go ahead and put a pie chart. So pie chart could be based on any data that you want to analyze. Like for example, if you want to look at how much ad budget goes into what campaign, then you can go ahead and look at it inside pie chart. There are also filters. So if you want to go ahead and filter one particular campaign's conversions, then I would click on add filter, and inside add filter, let's say LDM conversions. So right now, if you have observed, right now I just have one campaign actively running, so all the data is reflecting just one campaign. But let's say you have multiple campaigns and you want to just get data for a specific campaign and create a report just for a specific campaign. It could be for a client or it could be for a specific project that you are doing. So here I would say include campaign name contains LDM. So it would only pull in data of all the campaigns which has LDM in the campaign name. So if you look at it, you see that the amount spent has changed. So for a LDM campaign specifically, this is what we have spent. So let's say website conversions also I want LDM campaign. So I would click on add a filter, click on LDM conversion. So 21,368, 21,234. Impressions also will change. So once the filter is set, you can apply the filter to all the scorecards, and so observe here. So 38,965 we have here, and I select LDM conversion and we have 36,154. So this is very important. Filters are very important, and you have to add it for your graphs and other places as well if you are doing it for only a specific campaign. So Facebook ads report for LDM conversion. So I would say for LDM conversions. So you can create like a separate report for each and every conversion, or you could go ahead and put like a selector, which campaign name selector also you can do. So now we have only LDM report. So now once you go ahead and click on view, you will be able to see the stats for a specific date range. So here you can also say, hey, I want it for yesterday. So I will click on yesterday, click on apply, and now you can see the stats are getting displayed only for yesterday. So let's wait for the data. So yesterday we had $24 spent, 384 website conversions, this many impressions and this many link clicks. And let's say last 28 days. So if you look at last 28 days, or last 30 days. So last 28 days is 4 weeks. Last 30 days is like approximately a month on average. So now we have last 28 days, and I can see what is the amount spent every day, what is the conversion every day if I just hover over the graph. Here also I can hover over the graph. So there are a lot more things inside Data Studio which I have not covered in this video. This is just like one video I had to make to teach you how to get started with Google Data Studio. And the best way to learn is to just tinker around with it, play around with it, see if you can download a PDF report, see how it looks. Go ahead and add charts, add scorecards. You can also create formulas here. You can create like a new field. So if I want to like create a formula from here, I will be able to create a new field and put like a formula here, which again I will not be covering in this video. But more about Google Data Studio, I'm planning to do it in the Google Data Studio Mastery course, which is planned for launch in a few months. And I'm also learning Google Data Studio. Whatever I have is what I have learned so far, but you have so many other options that you can add. You can have filter control, data control, which I have not got to yet. You can add tree maps, you can add pivot table and have it updated all the time. And even basic things, if you do like, show amount spent, website conversions, impressions and link clicks and things like that, you can go ahead and have automated reports as well. Like for example, there is an option to schedule email delivery. For example, every day morning I will get a mail in my inbox with a particular report, and it can be repeated daily or weekly on Saturday, or monthly on the third day, or whatever I want, whatever option I want. So you can schedule the reports for your clients as well. So if you are running ad campaigns and if you want to keep sending reports to your clients regularly, then you can go ahead and do it with Google Data Studio instead of manually creating the report. So I hope this video helped you understand how to use Google Data Studio for Facebook. And if you want to use Google Data Studio for something else, you can use it for Google Ads as well. It's very similar. For the connection, you don't even need Supermetrics for that. You can also use Google Sheets as a database and use the data in that to go ahead and create Data Studio reports. So I hope this was very insightful and very interesting, and I wish you all the best to go ahead and create your own beautiful report. And once you have created the report, let me know, show it to me, share it on the Learn Digital Marketing Facebook group. So that's about it for this video. Thanks for watching this video, and if you have any questions, go ahead and leave a comment below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.